Welcome to the Shooters Podcast. I'm here with Sam Curro. Sam has had a very interesting story throughout his life. Lots of ups and downs. Now he's on the more up and up, which I'm very happy to say. Sam, we met a long time ago.
Yes, we did.
We were both grimy little bike riders. We met at the skate park. So just real briefly, how did you kind of get into riding bikes and ending up at Four Seasons Skate Park?
So my dad was always busy and whatnot. He owned his own businesses, and my family owned 2 bike shops in Milwaukee, Emery's Fitness and Cyclery.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, biking's always been my family. My uncle is actually a silver medalist in the Olympics from some years ago.
What's his name?
Brent Emery.
Brent Emery.
Brent Emery.
Awesome.
So, yeah, so biking's always been the family. My grandpa opened that shop years and years ago. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I did. My dad be at work, so just drop me off at the skate park, go handle his business, pick me up when he was done.
Yeah, a little babysitting action.
That was pretty much what Jeff G and Neil did for a long time.
That's awesome. So I would see you at the park all the time. You weren't even really shooting then. You weren't even
Just running around causing problems.
Yeah, running around causing problems. And I continued to go to the park, and you kind of stopped coming, and we kind of lost touch. What kind of happened in that time period?
Yeah, so I just, you know, as you grow up, you kind of run into different things in life, and you know, I started trying to make fast money, and kind of took a different turn. So I kind of slowed down the biking and just going through the stages of life, and
doing some stupid shit.
Yeah, definitely good way to put it.
Yeah. I know through probably doing some of that stupid shit and other things, you actually ended up in jail for a little while. How did you kind of end up in jail, and, you know, what's jail like?
So ended up in jail. I don't know if you're from Milwaukee, you kind of, the stages in life, you go through high school and then you end up going to like the East Side parties and shit like that, over by UWM, the campus there. I was walking across the intersection, and dude was kind of being extremely rude to the female friend Maya I was with, and I went across the street and wiggled this shit, and then he ended up getting knocked out. I didn't actually know that I injured him until like years later, just because we kept it moving, and I was playing basketball and the police stopped by us to go and ask for IDs, and he's like, yeah, you got a warrant for your arrest, like you're under investigation. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, not even kidding. Like, I thought they were just fucking with me. But yeah, so I had to go through the process. You know, Milwaukee probation's unforgiving. So a couple months in, literally got revoked on an allegation, and, you know, just sat for 9 months real quick, 9-piece.
Nice. So you're in jail. I mean, to everyone out there, you know, all of our friends, the people we hang around with, you know, a lot of us don't end up in a situation like that. What's it like being in jail and sitting there for 9 months? I mean, is as bad as everyone as it thinks?
No, that's a fucking myth. No, it's just it's a bunch of clowns. It's annoying. It's a big adult daycare. There's not like the gang bang fighting.
It ain't prison.
It's
not
prison. Even prison's fucking. I mean, as long as you're cool, like just you know, don't start no shit. There won't be no shit.
Yeah.
No, I was in the House of Corrections. They call that the House of Clowns and shit like that. It's all make-believe stories. Everybody talking about how they're balling and shit like that, what they got in the world. And then you end up seeing those same people outside, and they're all fucked up. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not proud of going there, but I mean, it's just a part of my story.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like you learned anything from that, or it was just kind of like your life was put on hold for a little while?
I mean, to be honest, it gave me time to gather my thoughts. When I went in, my father, both my grandmothers, my godfather, and then my Uncle Danny passed away like literally in a couple months right before. So like my head was all fucked up. I'm young. I was living on my own. I was drinking a lot just because like damn near like a Novocaine numbed the pain.
Yeah.
And so my world was really in shambles. My dad was my best friend through and through, always there for everything. And then, you know, so when he was taken from me, it took a big toll on me, and I ended up getting locked up, and that gave me a lot of unwanted time to go and work on myself, who's inside, and be like, all right, what do I want out of life? And kind of got out with a lot more clarity.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're sitting 9 months in wherever it is. You're not outside. You have a lot of time to fucking think about what's going on and what you want to change once you get out. Yeah, so man. Once you did finally get out, and that's kind of when you kind of got into photography and filming, not filming. I'm sorry, just photography. Mm-hmm. Kind of what was the thought process behind that and kind of where did you start with photography, or where did you think you were going to start?
So we were a little worried about like just, you know, having a record and everything, and the violent crimes thing as far as like for battery and shit like that. We were worried about me being able to get a job. And so that was right around the time that drones came out. And my mom's a pretty big realtor in Wisconsin, through Shore West. So, you know, she told me, hey, let's get you this drone. You could go and do real estate photos. It's something fun. You could do it by your own. Yep. And then, you know, go from there. So, when I got out, she had procured this drone for me, and, you know, I kind of started it out, and, you know, I was like, fuck, I can't just offer photos. So my homie Andrew did videos, so I figured I'd partner with him. He'd do the videos. I'd go out and shoot. Both make some money. Everything, get to do what we love, and just, you know, instead of going the 9-to-5 route. Yep. Things didn't really work out. Motivation wasn't really there on all sides. Yeah. And then, you know, kind of fizzled out. In the time to come. Yeah. So from there, you thought you were going to shoot real estate, and then you kind of ended up in a role which you were kind of put in front of a lot of hip hop artists, shooting photos and stuff like that. Who kind of brought you into that? And I guess what was that all about? Like, what were you shooting more specifically? So in the process of me, like the real estate shit, we were still using a camera to shoot the inside of the house and shit. So I went in, you know, I just started learning a camera, and then I remember one time the homie was like, "Oh, you're trash." And then, so I was like, "Fuck that." I took the camera for a couple of weeks and everything, and I came back, and people started feeling my shit. And I wasn't trash anymore. So, you know, I started shooting. I reached out. I had a friend. I used to run a clothing boutique downtown called Flow Clothing, above 720 on Milwaukee Street. It's no longer there, but I met this cat, Philly Flyboy. So he's from Milwaukee. He shoots like Hustle Gang, shit like that. So I reached out to him saying, hey, if you ever need like me for anything, reach out. Yeah. I didn't think anything of it. He's like, oh, I got you. So I was like, all right, cool. A couple months later, he actually reached out and said, hey, I got a big shoot. Like, you come out. He's like, I don't got it in the budget. So I scraped together every coin I could off the couch and made the trip out there. And that was really the start of it. Who'd you go out there to shoot? I was shooting this cat, Aleem, at the time. He's a up-and-coming, like, indie artist, I guess you'd say. Not really my type of music. But, I mean, he's definitely the homie. Yeah. And where was that at, you said? That was Palm Springs and Los Angeles. So, like, the middle of the desert. I know that Kylie Jenner shot a lip gloss commercial at the exact same spot that we were doing, like, a week later. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, was it a pretty place, like, or was it just kind of like straight desert? Fucking nowhere. Just straight desert. It was hot as fuck, and then it was cold as fuck. It was. That's desert life. Yeah, you know, once the sun goes down, it gets chilly. So you started shooting with Philly, and I know that led into some more roles. Like, kind of, you're traveling a bunch. Where were you kind of shooting, and who were you all shooting with? Like, I mean, as I built that relationship, you know, he would fly me out on the budget set with allow which was a good amount. I was gone damn near 2-3 weeks out of the month, just nonstop. LA, New York, Miami, Atlanta, Arizona, shit like that. But yeah, I've shot for like Twista. I did a private party for Hennessy, and like shot Carrie Hilson, Ace Hood, Trey the Truth. Just a little bit all over the board. Yeah, who out of those, like, out of this time in your life, who was like kind of, would you say was like the most fun or did you connect with any of them at all? And if so, like, which was like the most person you connected with and had fun shooting, or like, I mean, the funnest shoot, or I mean, it's all quick. Everybody's just trying to get there and make their money and get back to the family. So it's not like you really like connect. I mean, if I was gonna say the humblest artist that I've like actually shot, well, to be honest, that was recently, like Lox Crew. Those cats were real cool, like Jadakiss, Sheek Louch, and Styles P. Yeah, like real humble family men type shit. Yeah. But Ace Hood was a gentleman. Like, I shot with him for maybe like 10 minutes. You know what I mean, at Trade Day in Houston. But he was just real nice, genuine, you know,
Yeah.
just a good guy. He didn't have any fucking alter ego bullshit because all these cats are out here power tripping. And,
Yeah.
you know,
I could see that. I mean, it's I've worked with a lot of people who aren't even on that level, and they're on their own shit, and it's just like, it doesn't make sense because I'm just trying to help you out. I'm trying to make you look good.
You know
let me help you. That's all I want to do.
It's life.
Yeah. You know, you said you traveled over the U.S. and blah blah blah. I know. You were telling me that you actually, when you went overseas, that you had a little run-in with customs and
Some shit like that.
yeah. So kind of tell me, what was it like?
Pretty much, I got off the plane right when I got on the plane.
Yeah.
I was like literally about to board, and I got snatched up.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "What are you doing? Why are you leaving?" I'm like, "I'm going to shoot this tour," and they're like, "Yeah, all right." Like they had just ripped my bag apart, like maybe 20 minutes beforehand, and then I'm getting on the plane. I have, you know, it wasn't even like TSA. These cats were like vested up.
Yeah.
And
This is in Heathrow?
No, this was at O'Hare.
Oh, okay.
Like when I was leaving.
When you were leaving.
Yeah, and then I got to O'Hare, or I got to Heathrow, and you know, I'm trying to navigate through the tube. I'm texting the homie Kevin Suker, shout out. I'm texting him trying to figure out like where the fuck I'm going because they're already on the tour bus and they want me. I'm in another fucking country. Yeah. They're like, go to the tube. I'm like, what the fuck is a tube? So I ended up going down by the train and I'm waiting and it was dead in there. I mean, it was cool, like visually pleasing. Mm-hmm. So I pull out the camera and I went to take a photo and like I maybe took a photo or two and I got snatched up. They grabbed my camera from me. They took my cards out. I literally had to try to pull out my Instagram as fast as I could. Like, yo, I just, you know, I like taking photos. Yeah. Like, that's all it is. And they're like, don't do that shit again. You do it again, we're taking your camera, sending you back. Like, you know, just because terrorism and shit like that, they think that people are just trying to plot out where they can put a bomb, shit like that. My bad. But I don't know if
you say bomb. Yeah. But I mean, I've traveled over there too, and I mean, I feel like England's the worst place to travel to. They're definitely
Gator don't play no shit.
They're on you.
Gator don't play no shit.
Yeah, they don't really want us there. I feel like other countries you go to, and they're like, you know, they're like welcoming almost. They're like,
yes sir,
do whatever you want. Like, we don't need to check your bags. You're good.
Yeah, man. So
before I kind of move forward to kind of like what you're more currently doing, I know we touched on it a little bit. I know somewhere in this kind of time period you had, you know, Philly brought you up and got you kind of into this world, and then you kind of had a little falling out as well with him.
Yes, sir.
Maybe kind of just dive into that a little bit on what happened.
I mean, I got politics. It's all love. Yeah. At the end of the day. Yeah. Like, Philly taught me more things than not. Yeah. You know, at the time, I didn't really understand why things happened the way they did. He started managing an artist and everything. I actually worked with that artist hand to hand. Mm-hmm. Long story short, the artist started talking shit about another artist that we had worked with, you know what I mean, that basically paid the bills. And I just thought it was some hoe shit. So I just, you know, I called him out on it, just like, I'm not feeling, I don't do the whole talking behind people's back shit. Like, you know, if you're not going to say this shit and you're, you know, a part of your alter ego is, you know, you got to hide who this nasty person you are, like, be more upfront. Mm-hmm. So I called him out on it, and then, you know, we were in a group text, and Philly didn't see it till like an hour and a half later. So Philly ends up seeing it, and he just tried getting on my ass. Yeah. So I just told him, you know, like, let's not forget where we're from. You know, you're from Milwaukee too, and you know, we don't get these opportunities, and you're sitting here bashing, and we'll up the bam. Yeah. And you know, that was really it. He cut me, and that was while I was actually on tour, and you know, I came home and I was eating off Philly. Like, that's how I paid my bills. And then, you know, just kind of, it hurt for a long time not being there. Yeah, because, I mean, it fucked my whole world up. I'm sitting here like, great, now, like, am I going to go back to gaming or, like, and that wasn't the route I wanted to take. I just had a daughter at the time, Charlie Rose. And then, so it was rough for me. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all love. You know, I still check in on him. We don't talk formally, but I check in on him and everything, just through a couple of homies and shit. And then I know that given the situation we're going to talk about in a minute here, you know, his family's reached out to me and just said, you know, that he's thinking about me, shit like that. So it's all good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's good that, like, you know, I mean, it's like that with all friends, you know, you kind of, sometimes you have fallen outs, but like at the end of the day, you kind of let it settle and like maybe... You don't want to go reach out and talk and hang out.
If we bumped into each other, I guarantee it's a hug and shit like that, and it's cool. Like I don't fuck with dude who initiated all this. I think dude's a bitch. Yeah, like straight up. Yeah, he knows that I bumped into him a couple times. Yeah, no smoke. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm cool with Philly. I don't got shit but good things to say about him. He did a lot for me. I mean, like everything I am as far as my career is photography,
connections, all that stuff,
directing, shit like that. Like everything, I'm self-taught. Like there's no schooling with me. So it's like everything I learned is from, watching Philly and, the game that he's instilled in me. So like I'll always be forever grateful and,
Yeah, it's good to hear.
Yes,
good to hear. You got to respect that.
Yes, sir.
So, we're talking about shooting with these artists, and I feel like you tell people, yo, I'm going here, I'm going to LA, I'm going to, Atlanta.
It's all bullshit, papa.
I'm shooting, and they're, I mean, like, it sounds great. Like, it sounds very glamorous. Just kind of give me a run in, like, what is it really like shooting with big artists? Is it Cristal bottles popping everywhere? Is it, is it tough work? Is it easy? Kind of, give me a little run in on it.
Listen, I mean, it depends who you're working with. The indie cats are usually, they're ready to work. The older cats, Lox Crew was incredible to work with. They showed up a little bit late, but they were on it. They showed up ready to work, boom, knocked the shit out. They didn't get drunk, they didn't get high. A lot of these like younger artists, they're trying to get into their alter ego and shit like that. And like I've been on sets with an artist, I'm not gonna name drop him, but he was knocking back one of the models in the back room. You know what I mean? Like we're sitting here trying to get shit done. It's like, come on. And I've been on set with some Chicago cats, and they're just smoking and sipping lean. So it's like you're sitting there like, come on, man, let's get to work. Yeah. And it's you got to gather their attention. It's definitely not all hyped up. The cats that like really do it and are traveling nonstop, like it's hard work. You're getting there. You're from the second you leave, it's travel time, get into that rental. If you're from out of state, you're finding the lighting, whatever lighting facility you go to, get all your lighting for get your all crew together, set up, and you're trying to stick to a schedule. You know what I mean? And just weather permitting, and you're already away from your family. Yeah. And the longer you aren't home, the more money you spend, which takes away from your overhead to bring back to your family. So everyone's trying to get out there, make their money, and come home. It's real work. Yeah. So yeah, it's rewarding. When you actually see it, like. If you took your camera outside, like some of the cats coming up and just do little music videos, it's like cool. Yeah. But like once you're actually on set, like directing some real shit, it's like it's a different level. So yeah, brings more satisfaction. Yeah, it's like only way I can relate with this one is like being on like filming. I film a fishing show, and that's, it's like tight. Yeah, and like you're like, yeah, it's tight. It's like I fish.
Yeah, I know you're a big fisherman, but like you think it's so awesome. I mean, and I have the people I work with, they are amazing people. Yes, they're super fun. It's always a fun time on the boat, but at the end of the day, it's work. I'm filming for 8 hours straight. Like my back's killing me. It's not easy, No, and exactly. I'm not throwing. I have thrown out a few lines here and there, but very rarely I fish. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you take the good with the bad. It's cool seeing different places and meeting different people, but it's work. It's good. It's to be fucking home. Work. So what do you kind of touched on it a little bit. I know you kind of just recently kind of got back out, got a camera back in your hands, and you went and shot with Lox. And how did that kind of come about? And also, is there anything else you kind of got going on with the hip hop industry?
All right, Philly Flyboy. Yeah. So the cat that actually flew me out, I met him on one of Philly's sets. Mm-hmm. So cats have stayed in contact with me. Yeah. And there's some politics. There's some cats that won't fuck with you if someone else isn't fucking with you anymore. Mm-hmm. But bro brought me out. He's like, hey, I need you. He's like, I don't care about any of that. Brought me out, and he's just like, this is a big opportunity. Let's see what's good. And we went out there. We crushed it. I actually directed a lot of it. Just just different shit that I picked up from Philly. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, no, we gotta do this. All right, move the line here. Yeah, this looks better. I'm figuring it out. Yeah, and that shit just kind of, I got out there and it just kind of happened. Mm-hmm. I was just going out there to shoot BTS, and now they're like giving me a director piece on it.
Yeah, you gotta step up every now and again.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Step up into the role
Power
that you want.
Only.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Yeah, but
people notice that stuff when you take charge and you actually are competent.
Yes,
it's
sir.
like,
And we might have some shit in the works. So
yeah,
it's
good.
in the coming weeks. You know?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So outside the shooting and the stuff, you kind of have another passion, and that's your little Lucky Lost here.
Yeah, man.
What's the story behind that? How did that kind of come through? And yeah, what's going on?
So my boy Bob owned the Bad Genie Rock Lounge over on Jefferson and Wells. His partner's a piece of shit, so that's no longer. Fuck, dude. You see this? Fuck you, Ryan. Yeah. So and then he had Phoenix Cocktail Club, and that's no longer around.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, one of the managers was Adam Sarkis, and we had all talked about wanting to do a streetwear brand.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam came up with Lucky Lost, and that was the one that fit. We were like, all right, cool. And so we basically our motto is like Lucky Lost is just the perfect combination for success.
Mm-hmm.
So we just started running that, and kind of taking on our own roles. And I'm more free as far as because I do freelance, and then I'm doing the real estate photography again.
Yeah.
And then so I kind of make the plays happen and everything, and we just kind of politic through group text, and they reach out to their graphic designers, we put the pieces together, and so it's been doing pretty well for us. So
how many people are involved in that?
For right now, I can't even say like how many people are involved, because I got multiple graphic designers. Came one, the homie Carlos Harada, my boy Cribs, the homie that really ties everything together for us. Merch Man, my boy Bob is partners, and then Adam, so I mean it's a family effort. I'm with the same people every day of my life. My phone bings off the same people, and we all just support each other's dreams, and really just work towards that. If someone's lacking on something, the other picks up the piece, and we figure it out together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
So you mentioned in kind of that whole thing, kind of when you and Philly kind of fell off, you had your little girl,
yes,
Charlie
sir.
Rose, adorable little girl.
World.
Yeah. As we kind of like we kind of had we had a falling out, not really a falling out, but we lost touch, and then we kind of like we started going to the same gym, and we started reaching out. And we started
bumping
talking
into one
again.
another all the time.
You came and shot Uncovered.
I did.
The BMX event where you killed it. A lot of really good photos. Great event.
That's all I know.
Yeah. When I kind of ran back into you, probably what was that? Maybe a year ago.
Yeah, right around August, September.
Yeah. You always kind of talked to me how you were like trying to get custody of your girl, and you were, you had a lot of, you were nervous about, things that are going on with people looking after her. Yeah. And, you're like, I can't. I mean, it's hard. You have a record, that type of stuff. I'm sure that all works against you. Yeah, plus you're the father. Plus you're the father. Plus you're the father.
Wisconsin. It's, sometimes unforgiving.
Yeah. So, and you were always just worried about keeping her safe. All the times we talked, you know what I mean? And you were always very genuine about that. And I could always tell you loved her very, very much. She was definitely your world. So you were worried about her safety, and kind of that nightmare, that thought in your head kind of came to be a reality. It's something I could never, when I heard it, I was freaking out. So maybe kind of just tell me what happened, and then kind of, if you want, as much as you can, this is the story behind what all unfolded.
Yeah. The relationship with my daughter's mother, it didn't, really work out, and it wasn't too beautiful.
Yeah.
Like an ending and shit like that. Co-parenting has always been a struggle. You move on, so you bring in different people in your life, and it was real rough. I tried to give who was her significant other is I don't fucking know where it stands.
Yeah.
I tried to give him a shot. I actually picked up my daughter to take her to the Dells, and I was in flip-flops and sweats. I didn't think I was a threat, so I said, have him come out. She's like, he's not coming out. Well, I was like, come on. So he finally came down and shook his hand. I just wanted him to know, I'm dad, take care of my daughter as if she's your own, and we're cool. I don't know if dude had I don't know if he was insecure about the other, but he wouldn't let us effectively co-parent.
Yeah.
And, you know, it took a toll. I already didn't see my daughter for shit just because I felt like my daughter's mother was kind of harboring shit from our past.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of something we dealt with. And I got a call in August, September area. I don't have the exact date. But I got a call on FaceTime randomly by a dude, and he was with his cousin, and he's shooting his mouth off to me. I think his cousin's name's like Froggy or some shit. And they're just white trash, fucking little wannabe gangbanger pieces of shit. But yeah, they called me and they started running their mouth. I'm on the freeway. And I'm like, I don't got time for this. So I literally got off the freeway. I'm like, bro, like what's up? And you know, the last thing that I heard was, "Bitch, I'll kill your daughter." And that really sparked a lot of shit to go on in our world. You know, I tried getting in contact with mom. She wasn't, you know, she was on the phone with me, and dude was in the background screaming, "Fuck dude, he's lying," shit like that. Trying to think that I'd make that shit up. Yeah. And you know, I didn't have a good relationship with her, so she chose him and his side and chose not to believe me. You know, 6 months later, you know, I'm making dinner with my girl now and her son, and you know, we have a child on the way, and you know, I get a call from the sheriff up in Sheboygan telling me that, you know, we don't think your daughter's gonna make it. There's been an accident. And then the second I heard that, I said, "Who was watching her?" They tried to feed me some bullshit like my daughter drowned in a bathtub, and I'm like, nah. I said my daughter's life proof. Anybody that knows my daughter is a little gangster. Like she literally, she's so independent. She's way ahead of her time. Yeah. Speaks very clear. She's the world. So yeah, I was on the phone with the sheriff, and I said, "Don't let dude leave." Dude was watching her while mom was at work. Again, innocent until proven guilty. Yeah. But yeah, man, they're trying to figure all that shit out right now. But long story short, my daughter had a 3 centimeter hole put in her stomach. They said it was blunt force trauma. Yeah. It's you know, only God knows, and my daughter and whoever was around what happened to my daughter. But doctors told me that they see that shit when kids get hit by a car or a fucking alcoholic after 60 years of drinking. You know what I mean? His shit just blows out. Yeah. That was really the worst phone call. Yeah. The worst 17 plus days of my life. You know, my daughter had to be flown to Children's Hospital, and you know, I'm so grateful for all the staff there. Like the ER was dead that night. So it was it was rough. I hadn't seen my kid's mom at that point, and so just like seeing each other and just being like you know, what the fuck, and then it's just like you're going through the motions, and you know, we were both indifferent about, you know, what happened, this and that. So, you know, we didn't really work out at the hospital. So after a while, they made us do 24 hours on, 24 hours off, 24 hours on, 24 hours off. And then until she ended up, you know, my daughter made it through, and, you know, it was extremely scary. I'm talking breathing tubes. Fucking, like, when she first came out of it, her seeing me, like, she was so scared with the tube in her. And that shit fucked me up.
Yeah, man, I could fuck anybody up, man. That's I remember seeing the pictures, and then
it was awful. And you know, as much as I did, as much as like, and I get, you know, not wanting to show that kind of shit, but like my biggest thing was like, anybody who follows me on social media knows what I go through as a parent. Like, like if there's one thing I do right in this world is me being a dad, and I've literally sat in jail after I filed motions for my little girl, you know. Yeah. And it's like, you know, I'm on probation myself right now, so it's like that's been used against me and thrown me in jail. And then 6 months later, my baby ends up fucking in the hospital, and like I said, innocent until proven guilty. But come on now, so it's like, you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard. You know, being my little girl's dad, I would never change my role, or I mean, she's my strength at the end of the day. But I mean, it's not been easy for us. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing you the first time after that, and like literally, you were so shook, and
I couldn't focus.
yeah, it was like I don't even know how many days after, but it was, you know, after she was finally like, you know, stable, like yeah, that was a rough time, man. I just remember I was thinking about you all the time, and I just knew how much you cared about that girl.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that she is happy. She's healthy.
She's bouncing around and causing problems.
And I'm glad that so many people came together and, you know, showed you so much love.
The whole city and even beyond that. I had hundreds of people from all over the world blowing me up.
Yeah.
Just everyone I mean, even still to this day, like, you know, I post a photo of her and there's just people from all over that are just overwhelmed to see her progress, and just kind of they're watching the process and just kind of seeing where it all plays out. And, you know, I guess we'll see as months, years go on. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it's definitely going to be a road. Hopefully a smooth sailing.
Yeah, man, life's a trip.
Yeah, I mean, luckily she's got a, you know, wonderful father who fucking cares about her, and like literally you spend so much time with her and you show her so much attention. But yeah, I mean, it's I feel like the one thing, how negative this thing was, you know, there was a lot of positivity, and you saw, you know, how beautiful people can be and supportive people can be. You know what I mean? Like that's huge. So, I mean, I know your daughter motivates you probably more than anything in this world.
Yes, sir.
What else kind of, you know, pushes you forward?
And my girl, she's really on my ass for the better. But yeah, we're expecting, and, you know, she has a 6-year-old son, Landon, and, you know, I went from a single dad to father of 3 real quick, you know. It's cool. It's definitely been a road. You know, her son's father and her have their own struggles at times, their thing, but, like, you know, we got a beautiful situation. I'm cool with dude. You know, he's cool.
That's great.
He's cool with me. I love his son. His son loves me. You know, it's not really a problem. Charlie and him are inseparable. Landon, I mean, she's screaming out the window the second we pull up at the house, and they just run and lock arms, and, you know, they're both thrilled. They're about to be a big sister and big brother, and, you know, that's a really cool thing. So. Yeah,
I think I just saw you post something about her saying something about her little sister.
Yeah, man, she's just she's always clucking about, like, her plans, and, you know, I'm gonna feed the baby. I'm gonna watch the baby because the baby's gonna come out dirty and shit. I'm like, man, like, the fuck,
the shit kids say.
Kids say the darnest things, huh?
Yeah. So we actually have an event coming up. Social Candies Shooters. We're throwing an event called Labor of Love, Labor Day weekend, August 30th, 7 o'clock. I think it might change. It's very early stages, but we're going to be trying to raise some more money for your daughter through raffles, selling some stuff. So it'd be awesome if people came out and kind of supported that. Got to see you. I'm sure Charlie will be walking around, hopefully.
Yeah, she'll be there.
Yeah, so, you know, come show her some love. So besides that, what current projects do you kind of have? I know I heard about a food truck and some other stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to make, like I said, all my homies pooling together. You know, we try to knock out project after project, and just kind of, we're trying to generate our own wealth and assets. And, you know, I'm working hand to hand with the homie Jake Diener. I actually met him locked up in that 9 months I think happened. Yeah. You know, that was 6-7 years ago. And, you know, we've been like this ever since. Yeah. So he's doing the Good Food Plug, and, you know, we're going to drop the name here soon as far as for the food truck. But right now he's offering like a meal prepping service, and, you know, he cooks private dinners, and, you know, best food you'll taste.
Where can you find that like information? Is there a website or Instagram?
I mean, he has Instagram. He has a website. It's just the Good Food Plug. Look it up, the Good Food Plug. And,
easy enough,
you know, yeah. And then I'm doing the real estate Productions LLC, and just you know, I'm trying to just cater and facilitating sales by, you know, providing a better quality video and photography experience for realtors, you know, for a lower price and trying to kind of snag up the market real quick. But,
Yeah.
You know, it's a dime a dozen. There's a million people out
Yeah,
here
I
trying to do
mean,
the same thing. So, and I got lucky lost, and you know,
a lot of shit going on.
Oh yeah, my girl's always on my ass. She's telling me, she's like, yeah, I need you to focus on one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my phone's glued. I'm the easiest person to get in contact with because my phone's literally, and I'm getting a million calls, you know, just homies trying to boom. All right, we need to do this.
Yeah, you're always super responsive.
Yes, sir.
Like anytime I reach out to you, it's like
that's why I don't have
right
those
back.
games at the gym. I need.
Yeah.
Too much time on this fucking phone. So
I'm gonna swipe it away from you.
Yes, sir.
Stop Snapchatting me.
Shit,
at
if
the
my
gym.
girl doesn't break it with a hammer first.
Yeah. Jeez.
So.
Where can people find you personally on here, on social media, anywhere? Follows, Lucky Lost, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe shout that out real
right,
quick.
So Lucky Lost, you could just type in, it's just Lucky Lost on Instagram. Sam Curro Photography. I got Aerial Estate Productions LLC, and then the Good Food Plug. So I mean,
yeah,
I'm LinkedIn on everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Catch me in the streets. It's going down.
Any final words of wisdom and shout outs and thank yous and anything else you'd want to say to anybody?
You know, you just gotta trust the process. That's what I live by. You know, life unfolds as it's supposed to. You know, I'm a firm believer that, you know, no matter what's gonna happen happens, and you know, you just gotta find the best and find the positive. I just left a funeral right now, and it's just best to find the, you know, the positives out of every situation, and just know that it's gonna be okay at the end of the day. I want to thank everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, all over.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone.
That one, you good?
I want to thank everybody. Just for all the love that they've shown me and my family, and you know, most importantly, my daughter, and just being here throughout the process. And you know, my friends that I say it all the time. I got the best friends in the world. I mean, my homies. And even though I broke the fucking diet and gained all my weight back, but when I first went to the hospital, my homie B brought all my meal preps. You know, my homie Pep dropped shit off for me. My homie Bobby, Cribs, you name them, fucking Jake Diener, everyone just kind of rallied around me. Evan Richards just brought all the love and made sure that I knew that everything was taken care of, you know, that, you know, I got one homie that dropped $10,000 on a fucking retainer for my attorneys just because I'm like, I'm broke right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my money you know how it is with the video shit. It's like sometimes your money's there, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, it comes in waves for sure.
I mean? And, you know, I got responsibilities and I got an overhead myself. So it's like, you know, I could be up one day and down the next. So, you know, all my homies really have made sure my bills were taken care of. You know, the states, you know, with my probation shit, they've really monitored everything and made sure that, you know, no demons can kind of fuck up where everything going on in life, and making sure that, you know, was needed to be done, their due diligence they do. And, you know, so I've had a lot of love, and I'm extremely grateful. I know my inbox, I got easily 3,000-4,000 people just in that little side message thing from people you don't know. And I can't reach out to everybody. Yeah. And I like to, you know what I mean? But it drives you fucking nuts. It's overwhelming. Just how much, you know, people constantly bombarding you on the updates and shit like that. I'm one person. So I'm grateful, you know? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, So, well, thanks for being on my podcast, man. Thank you, Jeff Klugwicz. Yeah, no worries. I love hearing about your life. I'm glad you're doing so well, honestly. Honestly, I was worried about you for those falling off years. I was nervous about you, but figured it out. Yeah, you've definitely figured it out. Trust the process. Yeah, exactly, man. You're killing it now. So keep killing it. Trying to. And thanks for being on my show, man. It's always great talking to you. For sure.